Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Antoine Warren, and welcome to my channel, the Antoine Warren Show. Uh, I am back with another video, and tonight I'm going to talk about the Mountain Rushmore and why I believe that the Mountain Rushmore should be abolished and torn down. And not just Christians should support this, but I'm talking about real true Christians, but well, not just real true. I think everybody should support this. Not just Christians, but everybody in general should in fact support the abolishment of the Mountain Rushmore. And I totally stand with the reason why I'm making this video, because I heard what Jalen Rose said and his video that he made, that that he's gonna stop talking, saying that the Mountain Rushmore of his favorite basketball players and favorite rappers and singers and all that, and I actually agree with him. I'm done saying my favorite basketball players who's gonna who's gonna be on my Mount Rushmore, or any of our favorite movies or whatever as well, because you know I, it's fueled with racism and white supremacy, and that land was stolen from the natives, the native land. And not only that, but the people, the guy who made the Mount Rushmore is a racist man. He's a white supremacist. He's a known white supremacist. He has ties with the KKK, and which I believe, which is true. He definitely had ties with the KKK. He went to their rallies. He was on the board. Even he was on the board of the KKK. He was the guy that you know trying to calm down disputes between KKK leaders, so they can continue to have power over, and continue to be a movement, a very racist and wicked and demonic movement. And he was on the board. This is a man who supported Robert E. Lee and all the other Confederates. I would say people who were pro-slavery. An abominable, which is the abominable demonic sin in itself. And and this is the man that made that sculptor. I would not, I really don't know his name, Pacific, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name specifically. I kind of honestly don't care, but I guess his name is Gutzon Bergelum, whatever this dude's name is. I don't even care to pronounce this guy's name, but you know, I believe that we should not, I think this entire Mountain Rushmore should be honestly turned down. I don't believe we should be having these sculptures there and these statues. These statues do in fact anger God. As it angers God. This is idolatry. Which is another reason why we should be against this here. But like I said, this guy was Bergelum guy is a white supremacist himself. He has major ties to white supremacy. And again, if you have a chance, you guys should read this title of the Washington Post, and they will tell you all the information you need on that. And not only that, on this, you know, wicked man, this wicked demonic man, who was, a white supremacist, which is, again, an abomination. This is an abomination in the eyes of God. And that's the man that actually, you know, made those sculptures, which is another reason why we should be, we should be for abolishing it and tearing it down. We should, which I 100% support, but I know a lot of people don't support that, and which we should, but unfortunately we live in we're in the last days. So during these last days, no one cares about tearing down these statues. But like I said, we should be tearing down these statues. And the four guys who's on the statue, were all racist. All those guys was racist. George Washington was a slave owner. He was for slavery. He owned slaves. Thomas Jefferson owned slaves as well. And Teddy Roosevelt, I think that guy, Teddy Roosevelt, he was not specifically a slave owner, but according to this article, which you guys could read called the Snoops, for what I understand right now, let me, look into that one. Right, I'm actually reading it here about at least the Roosevelt guy. That guy also had, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know he didn't, I do support his wife. If this is the right Roosevelt, I do in fact support his, support his wife, Eleanor. But as of right now, I'm looking to what, the history of these guys here. If I'm not, I think I'm right. I think I got it, actually. This is the guy right here, Roosevelt, right? I think this is the guy that had, systematically, for what I'm reading from the Snoops, had systematically removed the Native Americans from their lands. So he pretty much pushed the natives out of their own land systematically. And not only that, but he also did not care for black people as well. His wife did, Eleanor, but he didn't. He was not, for black people at all whatsoever. Didn't really do much or anything for black people. I think his wife Eleanor did a lot more. Like I said, shout out to Eleanor, but his wife. And as for, Abraham Lincoln, was a guy that ordered the executions of 38 Dakota Native American rebels, which was the largest mass execution in the history of this country. So that's Abraham Lincoln for you. And, of killing the natives, on top of the fact that Abraham Lincoln was also pro-slavery. Yes, folks, it was a myth. The Civil War was never about, freeing the slaves. It was about the Union. Yes, it was about the Union. Abraham Lincoln was trying to get the South to join the Union. The South didn't want to do that. He even actually offered, the South to keep their slaves. If they're only join the Union, they can actually keep their slaves. But You know, it didn't happen. You know, they thought about it though. It was a good deal, but you know, they wanted to ultimately they wanted to be their own, you know, union. They didn't want to be a part of the union. They wanted to be its own uh, country, pretty much. They wanted to be its own country, and they wanted to do their own thing. And Abraham Lincoln didn't want that, so and there goes the Civil War. But make no mistake, though, Abraham Lincoln was definitely a guy who, you know, didn't really care about slavery. He did not. He did not care about black people. That's just a myth. That's not true at all. He was not for black people at all. He actually wanted black people to go back to Africa. He wanted them to go to Africa. He didn't want them to be a part of America at all. He was not an abolitionist, you know, at all. I would actually probably make a video and show about the real true abolitionists. And Abraham Lincoln was not one of them. He was not a real true abolitionist. This is why I don't. One of the reasons why I do not like any president. This is why I'm an anarchist. I do not believe in any president at all. And I. This is why I'm not a patriot. And this is also why America is not a Christian country. This is why, right here. These founding fathers are not true Christians. Just based off the things that I presented in this video, they are not true Christians. So if anybody tells you that this is a Christian nation, that's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell. That is a lie. America is not a Christian nation. It never was, and it would never will be. And that's period. Point blank period. And we need to, like I said, I don't know about you guys, but I hope you guys will join me in, with this fight of going against white supremacy and making this, hopefully we could make America in society, truly equal. And more importantly, hopefully we can get people out of this wicked and demonic sin that is, racism and white supremacy, and hopefully bring them out of that, Lord willing, so we can get, them to heaven, with us to worship God in heaven. And also, so that's our mission. That's my mission as well. Well, that's my mission. Hopefully that it will be you guys' mission as well. I hope you guys would like this video, subscribe, and hopefully you guys would actually be also for abolishing the Mountain Rushmore and, pretty much taking it down. Thank you guys. Love you guys, and I'll catch you guys, in my next show, the next Antoine Warren show. Until then, thank you guys. See you.